Hey, welcome back to Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf coming at you live from about 20 miles from Deadwood. Remember the TV series Deadwood? It's an actual real place. There's still saloons with card games going there. But I'm not in Deadwood. Needed to pick and choose where to stop before moving on to our next state in this cross country trip. And I'm so glad that I stopped here. This, which you'll see over my shoulder here in just a moment, right up here, is the monument that's being built to Chief Crazy Horse. And something that Crazy Horse said in 1877 was, "My lands are where my dead are buried." And this, when it is finished, will show Chief Crazy Horse riding his horse and pointing across his lands, forever watching over his people, forever watching over the lands that have historically been been where they've lived. There's This is a great place to stop. I drove with no radio, nothing going on, just to enjoy the environment in the mountains here in the Black Hills in South Dakota. And I've been spending just a little time here, as I like to say, steeping in the environment because it's a very special place. There's a massive museum complex. You can see behind me here. I'm in a nice little sitting area where you have a good view of what's being done. The monument's still being built. I don't have time to do some of the tours that are available. There's a lot of hiking. I was told by a wonderful RVing couple that I had a chat with yesterday that you can actually walk out on the arm as part of the tour up here. And that would be so cool. So that would be, let's see, walking out on the arm there as part of one of the tours. It's just not time. There's so much to do. You need to, and that's one of the problems with traveling, right? You need to pick and choose where to go. I've just relinquished a half day of travel time because there's so much to see here in South Dakota. And the thing is, this monument, once it is completed, will rival Mount Rushmore with four of our most favorite and favored and famous presidents on it. That had such a big impact on the founding and development of the country that I think that's pretty cool. There's a young lady that's doing a talk right now that is going to also dance, demonstrate traditional Indian dance. That I wish I could stay to see that. Got to come back. Got to come back. You should come back with, be part of the group that comes back to see more of this, to spend an entire day here. Because there's so much history, so much to learn from. Just thinking about Crazy Horse's saying that is on the base of the model of what they're building up here, of his monument. And, I'll just leave you with this. And it's something that stuck with me was family, right? My lands are where my dead are buried. We lose those kind of connections, a connection to the world around us, to the people around us, people that are important to us. Um, that's important. It is dangerous to lose that, right? Learn from our Native American brothers and sisters in terms of what happens when they lose, when families lose that connection. I'm going to keep this in the background because it's just an unbelievable, it's just so massive. There's no way to catch the scale. But again, come back to, what happens when we lose family connections, when we lose connection to our home, our traditional home, wherever that may be, and it may be where you grew up, may not be, but wherever that may be, our connection to the environment around us, our connection to the spiritual reality of the world and life, the world around us, and the lives that we live. We are spiritual beings. Deepak Chopra had said that, we are energy beings, spiritual beings that have learned how to materialize and how to think. We're not thinking beings that have learned how to materialize. But life is a spiritual experience, and that's a powerful lesson from Native American culture. And it's dangerous in these times to see where people want to make an issue of learning of the best, learning from the best in different cultures, and incorporating that into our lives. That's a huge mistake to not allow that, to fight back against that. Been a very emotional day. We bring the best from around the world here to the United States. We learn from the best around the world. We learn from the best. We incorporate the best of each culture into our culture here in the United States. And again, this is kind of hushed tones because we got the sound of traffic in the parking lot, but also it's a lot of pine trees. See here, driving up through the pines. This is the sound of the wind, the breeze in the trees, and just the sacredness of the space. To respect that as well and feel the energy is a good thing. Is a loving energy. What are you doing about that? And it may sound kind of hokey, but your energy, your heart, energy of the heart, synchronized with the mind. Science tells us that's where the real power in our lives is. So more on that at another time. Got to hit the road. Thanks for being part of Wolf's Watch. It's Thursday, and then this is part of another epic adventure. What are you doing for epic adventures? How are you learning from that? How are you sharing that with others too? Because it's just there's so much inspiring. The people that I've been meeting along the way, listening to this young woman's story about staying rooted in her Native American culture and history, while also becoming the first person in her family to graduate from college. So moving forward, incorporating the best around her without losing that thread, that connection to her history and her roots. That's what I'm carrying away from this particular stop. You should be on an epic adventure. Come with us on an epic adventure. I'm getting so emotional. I'm having a hard time getting the words out. Come with us on an epic adventure. You really should. It's just it truly is life altering, life affirming, mindset expanding, and re energizing. So I'll leave you with that as we're rolling on. Again, it's Thursday, and today we're having an adventure. How about you?